The money thing doesn't really bother me. What bothers me about the money is if we've got a finite treasure chest, a finite war chest, and because it's so much for Mane, it restricts us in buying in other positions. If it's, no, you've got these 6 positions, Jürgen, that you're going to be strengthening, and we will back you to buy the players in those 6 positions, no matter the money. That's a brilliant scenario. It's probably being very naive and idealistic, but if it now means, all right, you told us you wanted Mane, we thought we'd get him for 28, it's gone up to as high as 38, which is actually the first time I've heard that, and it's very high, so you can't have a left back now. Yeah, that'd be when I was upset about it.
It's £30 million, let's just say, because let's use it for the sake of argument, the figure Liverpool are going with, so we'll stick with that for the minute. Is £30 million that much money?
To us, of course it is, yeah.
As human beings, yes, but I mean in football terms.
It's not that much more than the Lallana deal from 2 years ago.
It's the going rate, isn't it, at the moment? It's the Benteke deal.
Yeah, it is what it is. And the thing what you've got to do is you've got to look at it in a completely different way. Now, it'd be very easy to get annoyed because it's £30 million. It's very easy to get annoyed because it's the transfer record. Very easy to get annoyed because it's Southampton. Does he address some key issues that we've got as a football club? That's the question you've got to ask yourself on every transfer from now on in. Yeah. Does he add pace into a side that had no fucking pace last year? Yes, he does. Does he add goals into a side that had no fucking goals from midfield last season or not enough? Yes, he does. Does he add something that we don't have currently, an out-and-out winger? Yes, he does. Right? Does he have the ability to beat people and create space for other people who like to play in pockets of space? Yes, he does. Because the Roberto Firminos, the Phil Coutinhos and the Adam Lallana will play better for having more space because he's creating it.
I'm pleased with how many other people have picked up, because the analogy we used a couple of weeks ago, and everyone seems to have run with this one, is that we're living in a world where Watford are rejecting £25 million bids for Troy Deeney, which means he's actually end up being worth in a similar kind of price bracket as Sadio Mane. Who would you rather have? And it's obviously not as cut and dry as that because they're different players ultimately. But I would much rather have a Mane for what Liverpool need. I think this is the way we've got. And look, again, it goes back to the money side of things. There's that much money being pumped into the league that I think we'll probably see come the end of this window, probably this time next year, when everything's just gone up. Everything's gone up by £7.5 million. That was the £30 million transfer is what a £20 million transfer was a couple of years ago, like the Lallana thing, and that ultimately the top teams in the league, every single player in your side, I think, should have been a £15 million player. That should now be a £20 million odd pound player, which could in turn be £25-30 million pounds. Yeah. They're not like £30 million is no longer ultimately it's like what, half of the fucking British transfer record.
What you should do, right, when you're looking at your team, don't look at how much you paid for them. Look at how much they'd go for on the open market now. Yeah. Mamadou Sakho, for his faults, and he's got a few, would probably, without all the stuff with the drugs, would probably go for £25 million.
Yeah.